Against all expectations have made it. Gen.G, with all expectations have made it. Only one will be the winner.
Good luck trying to predict exactly how this series is going to go. I know you've all got an idea of who you think is going to win, but this could play out in so many different ways. Gen.G have just been masterful since the playoffs begun, starting with a comeback, continuing with a strong lead in the semi-finals that they just ran away with. They've done both. Haven't seen as much from Moist from behind. They have just led every series that they've played.
Well, here we go. Chronic with this one up, Nolly on his way. Back into the midfield, apparently Jack sees the ball stolen from underneath him. And here is the player that everyone on Moist Esports will be looking towards. Astral has put every doubter of his skill back behind him. He is that player yet again. He's been that player for 4 years.
Yeah, Astral for me has been just too impressive in offense, but this from Joyo. He might have taken a bit more of a defensive approach later in the tournament, but he's still ready to make those big pop-off plays, and I'm so impressed that a player like Joyo can show defensive strength in the playoffs. He's got the second chance of the game as well. Double goes off the goalkeeper. Both teams responding well to early aggression.
Joyo did struggle an awful lot yesterday. Had a couple of games where it didn't look like his icy self, instead was making mistakes. But he's put that back right today. Rise. Just gonna let everyone on this team reset as we do await our first goal. Chronic. Oh, he looks trouble! Oh! You cannot make those mistakes at this level!
Moist have been breaking down so many defensive structures today. Team Secret, the team who shocked the world with their defensive display, could not stop them. Gen.G will need to play perfect defense if they plan to. That was far from it.
Rise, Joyo, and Astral. It's gonna take some getting used to. It certainly still has a ring to it. Rise. He's opposite side of the field. Oh, that's such an awkward bounce! Rise capitalizes! 2-0.
And it's another mistake. Both Chronic and Nolly were there, but neither player commanding the situation. Rise could just see a little bit of hesitation there. Moved into the middle to accept the gracious gift of Gen.G. Another goal that Gen.G really should have done better defending.
Well, he would have been forgiven for being very bewildered if a year ago you would have turned around and said Astral would be the least experienced Grand Finals player on this team. That is how it has been. What a year Moist Esports have had. Forced to adjust with the departure of Vatira. They have adjusted incredibly well. Are they going to get themselves a third? Gen.G looking to get themselves on the board, but here is Astral. Moist backing down, and this is why. Chronic, the unsigned, untapped, underrated by many coming into this season. Do not want to be giving him time on the ball.
Yeah, Gen.G, like many teams before them, are looking for the gaps to try and exploit the Moist midfield structure. Moist, for much of this tournament, found themselves just a little bit overextended, a little bit out of position. And are they here? Yes, they are. Abject snipes the shot. Perfect pass from Nolly, just cuts in field, dribbles Astral, flicks it past Rise. Abject does the rest.
And the wheels of the train have started to turn. Gen.G have got themselves into this Grand Finals. Plenty of time to work with. No unnecessary risks required yet. That time will tick away incredibly quickly. Joyo with Astral the target. Not far off.
Well, there's no doubt Moist are the aggressor here. 6 shots to 1. It's been one-way traffic for the most part, but Gen.G staying composed. You know, no better than anyone here. That the only reason Moist have scored They've made defensive mistakes. And oh, there's another one. Rise once more is there to punish it. And that was unreal. Look at Rise off the ceiling. You cannot slip up against this team.
Astral just looked over to him and said, all right. 3-1. 90 seconds left on the clock. And Moist Esports showing that they are the team that know how to play a grand finals. Gen.G will not have been expecting themselves to be making these sort of mistakes. Chronic can't find Astral's car.
Oh, how many times have we seen Rise elevate, become the striker on LAN? 3 goals already. And like we mentioned, 2 of those came after mistakes from Gen.G, the unforced mistakes. The 3rd one, Rise really forced it himself, but his finishing is undeniable. He is just so clinical. It seems like when you get to these grand final situations, he just plays it like it's a practice game. Doesn't look like he's at all bothered. Abjax slots the first touch wide intentionally. Look at the pass to himself there. Still patient from Gen.G. Will they be able to break through here? Another shot saved. Gen.G are going to need to do better than that.
And the timer has now become the enemy. Gen.G very quickly seeing themselves towards a 1-0 deficit in this series. Nolly can't get back down. Stealing sort of claiming him. Infield to Jack is available. And instead, Moist Esports unchallenged as they head towards a Game 1 win.
The experienced team come out on top. Gen.G have bounced back before. They've shown incredible resilience this weekend. This is a new test, something they have not faced before. Moist Esports in a grand final. You know, Chronic said earlier on today that he was surprised just how different it felt to play on stage in the quarters compared to the studio. I wonder if he's thinking the same thing right now. This feels a little bit different than earlier on when I played in this very same seat. Just because it's the grand final. I've seen it time and time again. Even the best teams in the world can crumble. And you know, Gen.G, they're going to be happy that they've made it this far. Now that they're there, they want to go a little bit further.
And it has been an incredible week for Gen.G. Moist Esports have turned it around throughout this week. It seems to be a team that have almost learned in front of us. They've improved in front of us. When it comes to this sort of stage, they always seem to come into their own. Johnny, you've mentioned it a few times how you feel like a lot of teams get worse when they come to land. If there's one team in the world, I fully disagree with you on that, Odd. Moist Esports only ever seem to get better.
You know, it is fascinating to see. I mean, 2 mistakes there from Gen.G, but Rise was there to capitalize on both of them. How many times this week, how many times this weekend have we seen opportunities, half chances, just shoot the ball glancing across the goal and no one's there to score it? You wonder, could you have taken that risk? Could you have maybe just stayed in offense a little bit longer? Should you have been there? Well, Rise was there for both of the mistakes that Gen.G made early in Game 1. He knows that it's not too much of a risk to do that if you're the first man in the play.
Do question how much the event itself will affect decision making. Gen.G, they just want this first goal. Apparently Jack off the wall, nobody around. And it's those sort of plays that we will be looking towards Gen.G because they weren't there for those earlier on. Now they're up in a difficult spot. Astral looks for Chronic's car. Gen.G just let off the hook a little bit there. Now Astral, has he got the reset? Not quite. Moist Esports though starting off on the front foot.
This is just ridiculous. Moist pressure is crazy, but now here's a breakaway for Gen.G. Nolly decides to shoot it himself. You know, I think that last touch that he made before the shot kind of left him with no other option. He didn't have enough boost to get around the ball and center it. Didn't have enough boost to get in front of the ball and slow it down to give his teammates any time to catch up with him. Heavy hit, just almost out of range. That's all it takes to really shoehorn yourself into a position you don't really want to be in.
One down. Astral takes the position. Nolly, oh, he's gone straight from net. Most Esports aware of it. All available, Astral takes it. Follows up, apparently Jack, crucial challenge win from him. Now he's got a second one. Where's the reinforcements? Where's the cavalry? Moist Esports have been the quicker.
Whoa.
And almost got themselves the first goal.
I think it was an attempted back pass by Gen.G. Nearly fell to Joyo waiting in the middle. Luckily for Gen.G, I don't think he expected that one to be coming at him that quickly. They're still looking a bit shaky here, Moist. Knocking on the door. Still the more lively of the two teams, but Gen.G will be happy to have made it this far without conceding. Gonna make something happen of their own, but again, it's a speculative effort. It's easily saved. That's much better though from Gen.G. Jack squashing it into the middle, but the follow-up is not there.
Now the breakaway rise, one-on-one. The players will be arriving now. Drop down, Joyo chases, and it almost clashed into Rise on his way to the floor. Interesting where that would have gone, but instead it's now Joyo. Gen.G are being tested defensively. They are looking also a lot more comfortable. The mistake's not happening. Gotta make it happen over here though. Harry Jack with the follow. Nothing doing. Joy on the transition.
I'll be very curious to know if Gen.G were expecting this level of discipline from Moist Esports. They are hardly overextending. I mean, Gen.G probably expected to come into this, just wait for overextensions, just try and absorb the pressure, hit them on the counter, but Moist Esports recoveries have been very fast, and that's full credit to them, because earlier in the tournament, they didn't look like this at all. They were completely out of sorts, overextending, double committing for no reason. All three of them just working so well to put pressure on Gen.G. I mean, Gen.G are usually the team doing this to their opponents. If you look at their semi-final series against FaZe, this is what they were doing. They had FaZe completely pinned back, but all that said, Gen.G got a better game here. No mistakes, really, to speak of. That's step one after the mistakes they made in the first game.
Well, we've gone from a tentative game to a period of time where this is now crucial to the series. Whoever gets this goal, especially if it's Moist Esports, will take a very large chunk of the control. Astral going to struggle to take this too much further. Does require the support. He has found it in the form of Joyo. Gen.G defending for now. Nolly first to it. Joyo should recover that comfortably. He could go into the first overtime, depending on who's going to be to this one first. Joyo's missing it. Apparently Jack was waiting around. He's still loitering in the backfield. Not going to happen. We've got our first overtime.
Well, a couple of chances this game for Gen.G to center the ball. They did not look in field like they did against FaZe on Utopia Coliseum. The direct route has not worked, but clean sheet remains for both teams.
And kickoffs when it comes to Moist tend to be volatile. They've started off well here. Apparently Jack doesn't get the 100 boost. Chronic will put the ball up high. What has he got in his bag of tricks? Nothing available this time around. Nolly to Chronic. He's left it. Oh! Gen.G step up!
Nolly's forward lob has just led to his own finish. I think it probably went in off the defender there, but if it didn't, then Nolly was going to get the touch himself anyway. Well left by Chronic. He intentionally let that go by him, understanding it was going to bounce straight downwards. That's a fantastic read from that position, but what a game for Gen.G. What a controlled performance. After such a shaky start to the series, they had two completely unforced errors to kick things off. They've gone a whole game without making any glaring mistakes there. Now that they've tied the series, that's going to settle any nerves that they might have had. They're definitely here to play in the grand final. Is this their time now to take over?
That's so important as well, because as we go into the history of Rocket League Grand Finals, there are a lot of lackluster performances when it comes to a Grand Final. You look towards Season 4 Grand Finals, Gale Force taking that one. You look to Falcons after they got bracket reset over in London. We have an awful lot of these where if you don't get started, you go away pretty quickly.
Yeah, if you're down 0-2 there, then I think you just got to call the timeout, and then, you know, whenever you end up losing one more game, you don't have it, and you'd love to have it later, so that's huge from Gen.G. It's also worth noting that Moist Eyes on that winning goal were probably on Chronic. The fact that he's up there, the fact that he's a distraction, even if he doesn't touch the ball, still draws attention away from the downward bounce. Moist weren't ready for it. They didn't jump up in anticipation. Gen.G just throwing a little trick in there. Oh, that's the chance, and Jack slams it in the top corner. 11 seconds in.
Genji are well up and running. And now it's Moist that need to figure it out. This is a team, Johnny, where we know where the floor is. The floor for Gen.G is a grand finals. The ceiling, we don't know just yet.
And what a pass from Nolly there, just launching it into the corner wall. Gen.G look like they're very much settled into the grand final now. They need to keep this up. They need to stay focused. They didn't drop their focus at all against FaZe in the semis.
Brownie Jack. Just going to see Astral get the clear. Joyo off the backboard. Tries to take it under his control. Nolly's happy to challenge him. Apparently Jack also in, who's starting to look much more confident. What's the player that we saw earlier on, Johnny, who was going into those positions to make something of the mistakes that his opponents would make? Wait a second here, Joyo. Now get the setup for Astral. But Jack earlier on, despite being in the right positions, never seemed to be confident that his opponents would actually make those mistakes. It was very redundant what he was trying to do.
Yeah, Jack was just so efficient with his approach to that shot. He just got there about as quickly as he can. And Moist have been playing at blistering pace, so for Jack to completely dust his opponent to the ball there just shows they're ready to match that pace. Wow, what a save! Well, Moist did pretty well to get a shot on target from that position, but Jack was just floating on the goal line and kept it out.
Back to Nolly. Right, to himself. Reset claimed, but apparently Jack will meet him at the point of contact. Just clearing the lines for now. Genji realized that the mistakes are now out of their systems. They're gonna have to force Moist to pull off something special. When you say that sentence aloud, Johnny, I very much believe that they can. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough 3 minutes.
Yeah, looking at Astral especially, given the weekend he's had, so many late goals. The Astral faking a pinch clear there, but we'll get Demon for his trouble. Nolly coming forward, lean back, reset. Looking for the ground pinch, he's denied, but follow-up was necessary. Astral quickly raced to the ball. Now he's knocked it in field, but look at Gen.G rotating right back into the play. They're cutting Moist off from the defensive blind spots.
And they're rotating it in line with the ball. So when the turn does come in, Moist Esports won't really be able to react. Reset from Rise. Astral with the follow. It did feel inevitable.
Yeah, you feel like somebody's got to go a bit earlier there. Nolly and Jack both have 100 boost, and both of them waited a bit too late. No chance to react to any 50-50 that close to the net, but how many times have we seen that this weekend from Rise? Just completely stopping the ball dead, letting it drop down to one of his teammates, letting it roll in front of one of his teammates. So they've got easy shot. Yeah, it's all about Gen.G's early challenges. That time they didn't have one. Despite the fact that both their defenders had 100 boost, communication broke down momentarily.
Oh, Joyo's gone hunting. Rise wants to get it off the reset. Not going to happen this time. Moist have got the momentum swinging in their favor. Nolly. Oh, almost an own goal. Moist Esports will be very happy they didn't make contact. Now to the opposite side of the field. Chronic needs to avoid. Rise does exactly that, gets rid of it, and now we might be going again. Joyo off the wall. Where's his support going to be? Irrelevant, because Chronic is there to crunch through the challenge.
Well, Jack really needed to get a touch there. He was the only player with boost, but he did get there. That's bought his teammates a little bit of time, but boost is still pretty low for Gen.G. Nolly grabs 100. Looks like they are going to break free here. It's so important to control those engagements against Moist when they're just piling on the pressure. When they start to look for the mistakes, when they start to look any quick follow-ups on a player who's even slightly out of position. Gen.G survive, try to counter, they're sent right back into their own half. What's Astro got planned here? Plenty touches. Jack reads every single one of them.
Oh, almost found the pass forward. take over from there. Sticks with the ball. 30 seconds left. It has been left for Chronic, who almost just managed to dummy the defenders. Rise. Can't get Chronic's car. Both teams just setting the rules of engagement. It's a game where the ball has been closer to the ceiling than it has been to the floor at most occasions. Overtime.
Tension is at an all-time high here in Rotterdam. Oh, well, that's a warning sign. And a quick follow-up. And after a deadlock, Gen.G score straight off the kickoff. Joyo did not think the ball was kicking off into the middle there. He thought it might be bouncing off the post flat. Did not think it was going to come off diagonally. That's an unnecessary risk there from Moist. They've really committed to the kickoff, and Joyo could get back, but you're always running a risk if you're leaving somebody 1v1. Difficult bounce to read. Joyo didn't get it right. Jack was there. He had a much better angle on it. Oh, that was easy for them. I mean, Moist, they did well to come back, but they'll be annoyed that it was that simple for Gen.G just 5 seconds into OT.
Yeah, especially after such a tense game like this one.
Wow, what a save that was, though. My goodness, Jack did well to deny that first effort. Although this might surprise a few of you, Moist have called a timeout. I know that they're only down 2-1, but they have dropped 2 games in a row. That's not something I thought was coming. I thought that they would put that one down to just simple mistakes, not a moment in a series where they're trying to take away Gen.G momentum. I mean, it was a kickoff goal, essentially.
But whenever you hear something like this, the mind naturally goes to, they've seen something, and they want to talk this through. And it has become a little bit of a, sort of a loop of a series right now, because both teams are happy just to launch the ball and see who gets to it first in the air. So if Moist wants to just switch that up right now, it is their time to do it. For Gen.G, the early stutters are now out of the way. 2 very close games in games 2 and 3, but both have gone in their direction.
Yeah, there's just something about Gen.G, something about their adaptability. 2 very, very early mistakes.
No, it's the grand finals.
Who needs to discuss strategy? They're just waiting for the timeout to end. Nolly enjoying every minute of this.
He's treating it like we're in Brazil.
Said, hold on a second, guys. I know we're playing a grand final. Let me just get the crowd a little bit more excited for the occasion. But wow, the composure is unbelievable. They've just bounced back from so many tough losses this weekend. I mean, both teams have. That's been the storyline that really connects these 2 teams together. They've had trials, they've had tribulations, but they've both risen to the occasion. And now Moist are the team who have to do just that.
Well, there is a thread linking both of these teams. Astral and Nolly, on Carmine Corp last season, did not find the results they were after. They were up there, but they weren't in grand finals. They weren't winning majors. For one of them, that is going to come through. Astral has the backup.
Oh, Chronic was looking to drop that one down to Jack, who got bumped out of position. Nolly left stranded, but great bump by Moist. Rise, once again the goal scorer. He just continues to find the back of the net. He's got that predator instinct. He can smell a chance before anyone else in the lobby. There he goes again, gets another one, but great charge by Gen.G. Denying Moist the kickoff revenge that won them a game, won Gen.G a game. What they have switched up, if anything. Was that just about pausing the game for a second, trying to remove the momentum from their opponents?
I don't dislike it. We will see where that will go. For now, it's Rises to play off the backboard. How much boost does Chronic have left? He has enough. But overall, his team's starting to run low. It's all up to Nolly to control the play. Called into action here, and what a play it is. A little bit of breathing room. But when I say a little, I do mean a little. Joyo straight back in with the sucker punch.
Double up the ceiling, dunk on 2 players, double up the lead for Moist. It's been mostly Rise striking to provide Moist with goals in the grand final. It was Astral's offensive efforts that got them into the playoffs in the first place and got them this far. Now Joyo coming to life, and what better player to have just waiting in the wings than Spring Major MVP from last season.
Oh, wow. From our camera angle, we didn't know who was around. Turns out there was enough. Apparently Jack, oh, that's not the best challenge. Astral comes in, goes for the backboard. Rise backs down. And has he backed down a little bit too much? Joyo takes from the challenge. Momentum just not really a thing in this series so far. It has been swinging both ways. That's what happens when you've got the caliber of players that we have on Utopia right now. Every one of them is a difference maker. Every one of them has got that one series where you say, that was the guy!
Oh!
Chronic! Maybe he doesn't have the history of those series, but this would be a good place to start.
All right, he's needed a little bit of help there. He saved one shot. He couldn't get back to the ball, neither could either of his teammates. Gen.G, again, coming back every time that they end up behind. They find a way.
No.
Oh, the bounce goes downwards. Chronic was there first, but this time Gen.G do not have the post bounce into their favor.
I'm starting to think Moist just do not care. 1 goal up, 2 goals up, 2 goals down, 1 goal up. They don't care, they'll still go for these kickoff strategies. They will live and die by that sword.
I feel like, especially on 2-1, they might want to. Demo there by Joyo. He's only able to get the ball past 1 player though. Astral, creative as ever, lands the reset, tries to air dribble out of it with a pre-flip. Never the same shot twice when Moist are playing. Creating something different with every offensive push. Gen.G haven't lacked creativity either. This is seemingly on a knife edge this series so far.
Yeah, usually by the time we hit game 4, we know who's in charge. Really couldn't tell you, especially if that goes in. Well covered by Astral. Gen.G will start having little looks towards the clock now. Nolly, not the challenge he was after. Apparently Jack will collect the ball, scoop it up, and maybe put it in as Chronic trying to double up his goal tally. And it's all Gen.G at the moment. The goal feels like it's coming. And if apparently Jack makes good enough contact, it would have been 2 each.
Yeah, boost ran dry there for Moist just for a second. Abjack unmarked to the back post, had a great chance on net. They've still got time, they've still got pressure. Astral just trying to get some boost back here. He's still running about with 0. Small pad every now and then. Finally grabs 100, size with relief, but check this out. Chronic with a pre-jump, but Gen.G did connect the pass. Moist are being stretched thin here.
It was a huge bet on themselves. Do expect that Gen.G have the capabilities to do exactly that. Chronic to his own corner, 45 seconds. That time has just whisked itself away. Gen.G do not want to be here anymore. Shot will do nothing for Rise. Instead, he's on the transition. Moist Esports, currently the ones looking more poised to score. Rise will be on the far side if he wants to receive the pass. Instead, Chronic's been faked. Rise with that second one. Not gonna happen.
What a save by Chronic. He didn't expect the fake. It looks like they might concede anyway. Astral's going to take his time. Chronic's just going to glue himself to the ball in this position. He knows that anything in their net will end this game, and they just can't get the ball clear.
Astral to put this game to bed. That's actually a nice playable spot though for Gen.G. The unfortunate thing for them is they're against Moist. No chance forthcoming. We tie the series at 2 each.
And it was the physicality of Moist that caught Gen.G by surprise at the start of this game. Just a little tap here and there, nothing huge, nothing blatant. There wasn't a flurry of demos, just little trips, little bumps on rotations. Genji really need to keep an eye on that because with such, I think such a well-worked, close-knit structure that they've got, all it takes is a little bump and suddenly somebody's out of position. Communication needs to be so on point if those bumps are coming towards you. It's always the case in Rocket League, but when you're playing very close together, yes, it puts pressure on your opponents, but you're just always more vulnerable to that physical play.
We've talked about all the players on the field, but there's one thing I want to just point out on Astral, because so often we hear about the season, the land that was in Season 9, and for a lot of the times we talk about that, it's about how G2, that would have been their best chance. On the opposite side of the pond, though, Astral was winning Season 9 with Dignitas.
Yeah.
That could have been his opportunity. He was over there with Violent Panda. By the way, Violent Panda, congratulations this weekend. What a time it would be to finally get what Astral rightfully thinks he deserves. That would be a major win.
Well, you know, right now he's in the, I think he's a contender for the unenviable title of best player never to win an RLCS LAN. He'd love to win this one and pass that one along. Astral stuck alone there, 1v2 for a moment. There's a couple of demos. Abjack briefly 1v1 with Astral. Respawn got one back into the game. Abjack's in the cut rotation. Joyo jumps up to deny him.
Gen.G have had spells of prolific offensive pressure. Still nothing forthcoming. Astral wiped out. Rise. With Joyo in support, and Joyo will be required! I don't know how much he knew about it. Unimportant though, he got the hit.
Time and time again today, Chronic just shoots the ball straight at keepers. You might be thinking, well, why has he done that? That's just obviously going to be saved, but he's forcing awkward saves. Saves that another Gen.G player can pounce on, and even sometimes allow him to just roll right through with a dunk after the shot. We almost saw it again there. I mean, when it happens this often, you know it's intentional. Chronic showing wisdom way beyond his years. Just understanding that this is a matchup about control. It's not about trying to outpace your opponent when both teams are this even. It's not about trying to flash on them with mechanics. It's about trying to control the game and just bait your opponents into challenges. Catch them out of position with a small bumper demo. Well, Chronic's out of position here. That's off the post, but it's out of nowhere, really. I think he misread the ceiling bounce. Like they're off.
Good communication, though, from Gen.G, just to make sure they had the right person going for it afterwards, because that's usually when you see the biggest mistakes, following a small mistake. Only, though, able to just get rid of the danger. Now finds the pass. Chronic will try and take over. That's another game, Johnny, where... Oh! We're waiting for a big moment!
Well, not anymore, Abjack. With a monstrous shot. Joyo was back, but he just did not think the shot was coming at that angle. Didn't think it was going to come in at that velocity. And it didn't need a massive air roll, as shots like that so often do. Jack just caught it cleanly, sent it sailing into the top corner for 1-0.
Astral. That's not the challenge he was after. And now Joyo might have been caught a little bit too far forward. Thankfully for him, Gen.G are not immediately ready to pounce on him. Here's Astral. Goes underneath. One! Some feeling of inevitability, but now, opposite side of field.
Oh my!
No, it's open! It's in!
Abjack crushes the challenge. Joyo was stranded after a brief scare in front of the Moist goal, in front of the Gen.G goal, I should say. They were able to break free, and once more, it's just it's about control. So much momentum being sent into these challenges. Abjack absorbs it, and now he scores once again. He is dominating. He is controlling the lobby, and he's about to put Gen.G one game away from a LAN victory.
Well, the devs might be talking about how cold Rotterdam has been. But on Wasteland, apparently Jack has been sweltering in his offense. Unstoppable, uncontrollable, and unrelenting. Now to Chronic, and Astral just keeps this game alive. If that's going to be the case for much longer, that hope has quickly gone away. Apparently Jack, hat-trick hero.
What on earth is that pre-jump? Apparently Jack is reading my spines. That wasn't at all easily predictable. He just flew off, fully understanding where the biggest threat was. Surely he can't do it again, but it seems like Jack can't lose a 50-50. It seems like it's impossible to get the ball past at the moment. Everything he does leads to goals. Can he do it again? Well, might still keep him back for now. But they need to really get rolling in offense if a comeback is going to be at all possible.
Well, it has to happen in the next few seconds, and well, that's not going to be available when the ball is in their side of the field. For Moist Esports, their timeout is gone. Gen.G are the only ones that are able to call one. You get the feeling if that's going to happen, it'll be because we're heading to Champions Field. But with a scoreline like this, with Gen.G on such a roll, Champions Field feels a long time away for Moist Esports. They're going to have to go to Neo Tokyo and get the job done.
Well, Moist Esports have won a series in both of the grand finals that they've played in RLCS lands last season. But they didn't win every series they played. They did lose one, famously to G2, on Neo Tokyo. If Gen.G are to win this series, that would be their best bet. It has been unwise in any iteration of the Moist roster to take them to Champions Field and expect to come out with anything but a loss. Well, Moist with a constellation goal I don't think they should even reveal any kickoff strategies by trying to score again here. Should save that for the next game. This next game should be the most important. It's crazy to say, but when Moist are on the field, especially in a situation like this is such an important position for them to be in. I said that they won 2 out of 3. They actually won 3, of course. They beat the Falcons twice, but 2 times they've been the distance. They've won Champions Field just more than any other team.
Well, Joy's gonna have to wave goodbye to Wasteland. I don't think he's gonna miss it after that game. Double tournament point and major point, and you can see they're starting to realize the position they're in. Gen.G are 5 top quality Rocket League minutes away from crowning themselves champions.
And just what an incredible story it is. Apparently Jack and Nolly, off their teams from last season, don't really look like they've got any good options, so they change regions instead. And they pick up Chronic, who has proven to be one of the greatest rookies we have ever seen. In the modern era, in any era, throughout Rocket League history. Just how many times have we thought, well, that looks like the end of Nolly. He's off for it. He's been removed from another roster, but he finds himself on the best one he's ever had. Jack, questions about his LAN ice. He steps up and dominates Game 5 in the grand finals. But can Gen.G put to bed their final demon? A whole lot of EU pros throughout this weekend have said that they left. They ran away from Europe because they can't compete here. They're trying to prove everybody wrong by winning on EU soil.
Nolly leaves it for Chronic, takes control, does the impossible, and makes it look easy!
An ideal first touch from Chronic, and a straight shot to the top corner. Moist are in big trouble. Neo Tokyo's not been kind to them. Are they now thinking of that fateful matchup against G2 at the Winter Major last season? They lost on this very field. It wasn't close. They need to try and keep this game close at all costs.
Well, Moist managed to put the South American nightmare behind them. This is another wound in their history. Has it closed? Or is Gen.G just too good, like they have been for everybody. Joyo decides it's time to continue.
Just when you thought Gen.G had control, Moist wrestled it right back. Astral with a big dunk on Nolly. Favorable bounce for Moist Esports. Just got to the center of the box before the defender could.
And nothing reminds you how difficult it is to win a major like conceding a goal. Gen.G now know how that feels. How do they respond? They respond with apparently Jack. And Joyo able to just put the block on. Now Chronic wants the double. And that was not the shot we've come to expect.
Yeah, you've got to hit the target there. If not, you better be passing it to a teammate often. Any surface next to the goal, but that was an intended shot. And it was way wide.
Astral, who has been subdued in this series, forced to play more of a team role as what he's been able to provide so far in the playoffs hasn't quite worked, but it's been enough. Chronic has one. Astral takes it. Might go the entire way instead. It's a temporary reprieve for Gen.G.
I can't believe Astral's managed to sneak that ball past the defender with such little boost available to him. Didn't lead to much, but still, what an incredible weekend he's had. Completely stealing the show offensively, in my opinion. Moist are gonna need every drop of Astral's offense in this matchup. Rise goal scoring has slowed down. Joyo had one brilliant move, and then he started to be a bit more quiet. Gen.G countering Moist moves, looking for one of their own. Infield pass does not connect.
Chronic turns, finds the wall of Astral facing directly towards him. Jack, reset, bump on Joyo. Joyo and Rise have always had each other's backs. Did the exact same thing that time around. 2 minutes, one goal could send us to Champions Field, or it could send us towards a major champion. And as you can see, we are inching ever closer.
Genji, slow the ball down. And just wait, goal side. Keep Moist at bay. Joyo had the read downwards, but so did Genji, and that's a clear and a half. Genji rattle the bar. That's Astral, who breaks away once again.
Good challenge from Joyo. Chronic moves in, beat on the challenge by Rise. Joyo's back in. Always be happy to have taken a little bit more of a defensive rotation that time around, because they could have been caught out. And Gen.G are pre-jumping everything.
Whoa.
A mistake from Rise. Joyo has to turn on himself. Nolly back up.
Genji looking for an opening. Even now, they're passing the ball cleanly. Oh my! Chronic! Bar down!
They took a chance on the one player that North America seemed to be ignoring. That is the reward for that faith. 2 goals in Game 6 from Chronic, and 1 minute away from being crowned champions.
Just what a shot by Chronic. Hits it hard and accurately. And Moist are done!
Astronomical! Still work to do, Gen.G. They need a third. Chronic, can he be the hat-trick hero? What a statement that would be.
Well, that was to Astral. That completely blew away so many opponents with late equalizers this weekend. Where's the Joyo who did the same thing at the Spring Major last season? Where's Rise, who tore Gen.G apart in Game 1? Moist are just probing at the moment. Any of their players could be that guy. The same for Gen.G. Oh, what a pass! Oh, my goal!
4 seconds left. Moist Esports, what have you got left?
Ridiculous link up, the synergy was there. And now Gen.G just need to hit the biggest goal. And it's the size of the entire floor. They've done it!
Across the pond. They conquered North America. They've come back and they've conquered Europe.
It's unbelievable. When you think about what these 3 players have just done, most of us didn't even think that they would be here. Most of us didn't think it was even possible that they could come to land in their first split in a brand new region, and a last-minute team. Just truly unbelievable. Gen.G are the best team in the world.
Your winner and fall major champions, Gen.G!
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Gen.G! I'm letting this sink in. Jack, your first land win. You look overwhelmed.
I don't even know what to say. It's just unbelievable. Genuinely unbelievable.
I was gonna say, I in my head, I imagine you though already getting ready to get back to the grind. You're such a hard worker, man, but I imagine you're gonna let this one sink in for a while. You're gonna take a bit of time just to let this breathe for the next little bit? So, straight back to you two.
I mean, obviously amazing to win, but it's the start of the season, right? We're gonna get back to work, I'm sure. Hardest working team in the game. We're gonna continue to do so, yeah. We'll obviously let it sink in. Obviously it's a great result, but we're gonna get back to work, of course.
This must be something else for you. You gotta tell me what is going through your head with all of this right now. LAN rookie.
I'm in disbelief. I can't believe it. It's amazing. I don't even know what to say.
You don't have to say much. They're saying it for you.
Say it again?
Now, I'm curious how you feel about this, because it is rare to win a major as a LAN rookie. There are very few people on that list. Scrub Killer, Monkey Moon, Extra, Mark by 8, and now you. What is it like to be on that list now?
It's amazing. I really don't even know what to say or think right now. I'm just, I don't know. I'm in disbelief. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
That's all you have to say.
Yo.
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 What's up?
You know, we're chilling.
Just chilling, right?
Chilling.
Just hanging out. Also, first win, but you look really well composed. You're like, yeah, knew it was gonna happen.
I mean, I said at the start of the day, I have a good feeling about today and we're gonna win. Ask anybody, and it's obviously happened.
This guy always says we're gonna win, and we always just win. Whenever this guy says it, he always knows. He always knows.
He's a prophet.
Yep.
Now, it was really cool because on stage here, there's a bit of an absence of French players. It seems like England might be taking over. Is England the new France?
It's I'd say it's coming home, but we're a North American team, so
Technically, I guess, yes. Let's get Illusion in there. Illusion, I want to know right now, how proud are you of these guys right now?
I can't believe it. When I joined this team, I didn't really know what our expectations were going to be, and to come here, win our first LAN is it's really special. I'm so proud of them.
How stressful was it too? Because like 4 seconds left, you're like, okay, hold on to it. How stressed are you up there? Are you excited?
Oh, I was so stressed out. Those last 4 seconds, oh my God. I just said, please don't mess up the kickoff, watch the fake, and just close it out, and they did it. They did it.
All right, let's hand it to the captain here one more time. Jack. For the team, if you want to right now, stage is yours. It's unbelievable. I know you all have very few words to give right now. You're taking it in, but the stage is yours. If you'd like to give shout-outs for the team and to everybody out that supported you along the way.
Of course, the teammates, these guys are the best team in the world. I just can't ask for anyone more. Of course, all the fans, you guys are absolutely incredible. Couldn't ask for better fans. You guys are legends. And of course, shout out to Gen.G and Mobile One Racing. We couldn't do it without them. These guys have given us the best chance of winning. We really don't have to focus on anything else but playing. So we've got the best support in the world. We're very thankful.
There's one more piece of business here as well. I'd like to welcome to the stage to hand out your drip, your medals, Violent Panda. Bring them in. Thank you, Violent Panda, but here it is. Your fall major champions one more time, Gen.G!
And the streak continues for Gen.G. 4 grand finals and now 2 grand final wins in a row. to be able to do what they have just done. This is their first split together. This is a special team.
They traveled across the Atlantic to play in North America, a brand new region. They didn't even scrim before becoming a team. They just trusted in Chronic, and boy did Chronic deliver, but all three, phenomenal performance.
Like I said 3 months ago, you had told me that an NA bubble player with no real experience, a player who had got kicked from his team, and a player who was on a team who disbanded after a World Championship would be hosting a Fall Major Championship trophy, man. That is a story. RLCS is where the dreams come true, where you can take your aspirations and make them a reality, and Gen.G have done just that.
And that final goal as well. I mean, if that doesn't sum up this team, Nolly dropping it down to Jack with
How do you not
5
shoot that?
seconds left.
Nolly has always been that guy on this team to not be the hero. He wants to be in the back, the line, and just, all right, we'll give all the credit to apparently Jack and Chronic. Nolly, 4 seconds left. He could be that hero, but instead, he passes it down to apparently Jack. The perfect play for the perfect tournament.
And that just sums them up, Gibbs. It sums them up, Steve.
Yeah.
It sums them up, Wave.
Yeah.
They might not be the most skilled team on paper, and you look at the Liquids, you look at the Moist of the world, but they're the best team when it comes to chemistry. Not many players are making that move. To drop it down to Jack, 4 seconds left, shot clock running down, you gotta finish it right there.
You don't win tournaments on paper, you win them on the field. And when it comes to the best team on the field,
That's right.
It's this one right here. We talk about their floor being grand finals. I heard